Welcome to Beyond the Headlines on the WMBD Plus app, where we break down today's local news stories with our very own reporters. I'm Brianna Rittman.
And I'm Jack Bozikis. Today we will be talking about a new special statue going in front of a Twin Cities business. Then we're talking about an upcoming play happening at the Normal Theater.
And lastly, we will discuss some scams to be on the lookout for as you begin shopping for the holidays. For our first local story of the day, it takes us to Normal, where an ice cream shop just unveiled a brand new important statue outside the building.
WMBD's Austin Feeman joins us now from the Twin Cities newsroom to explain who the statue represents. Austin.
Yeah, thank you, Jack. Thank you, Brianna. So this new statue put in front of Carl's, her name is Marge. Marge is named after the current owner's mother, who passed away a few years ago. Marge always came to the shop, and she helped out. She washed windows, did anything that needed to be done. She was there to help out. And so this new statue is a way of honoring the owner's mother who passed away. Now the statue is about 18 feet tall. It's a lot taller than Carl, the other statue that's there. And if you count the milkshake she's holding, it's about 20 feet tall. It's right next to Carl, and they have matching colors as well to kind of bring in that sense of cohesiveness. That way they're matching, and that they look like they're supposed to be standing next to each other. So Marge is more of a kind of a waitress. She has a little waitress notebook in her hand as well. And it really is just, it's a great new site for people in Normal. Carl's been there for about 10 years. In 2015 he was put there, and now 10 years later he's getting a counterpart, a little duo action to keep Carl company.
Okay, Austin, now how did this statue come about? How did all this come together?
Yeah, so like I said before, this statue is a memory of the owner's mother, and basically it took about an entire year to design, plan, build all of these things to make it happen. The statue was the statue was made in Virginia and made its trip here over the past few days and arrived in Normal this morning at about 9 a.m. Now there was an artist that made it, and he also made Carl, I believe, and so it's kind of just bringing them back together. They wanted them to match as well, to kind of match the Carl's aesthetic. The red, the white. Carl has the burger in his hand with the ice cream cone, and Marge has the waiter's notebook, and then the milkshake in her hand, kind of just showing what Carl's has to offer. Now, a little fun fact: Carl is actually named after the original owner of Carl's ice cream, and so it's kind of with Carl being named after the original owner and Marge being named after the current owner's mother. It's kind of bringing those two worlds together, and kind of bringing two pieces of history, putting them together to make Carl's. Carl's is a staple in Normal. I remember I used to play baseball when I was just a little one, and we would always go to Carl's after. If I had a good game, we'd get some ice cream. So it's just it's such a good memory of mine, and to see that they're still expanding and still growing, it's such a good sight to see.
Oh, Austin, thank you for sharing that heartfelt story with us. Now let's check this out. Aldi has a recipe for a giant potato cake. That's exactly what it looks like. A cake made entirely from, you guessed it, potatoes. Aldi is calling this masterpiece caked potato. Top the gravy for the frosting. The giant potato cake recipe is on Aldi's UK website.
Huh. I don't know. I don't know if I'd like it.
No, and I like mashed potatoes.
So do I.
I like gravy, but if I if I look at it and I'm like, it looks like a cake, so if I bite into it, it's going to be an issue because it's not cake.
Exactly.
It's a potato.
Yeah, your mind is playing a trick on you. Yeah,
right.
yeah.
I can't. that is nice that they can do that. And I've seen photos like that before. And it's just, again, if I bite into a cake and it's mashed potatoes, we're going to have a problem.
Yeah, I
I'll flip
agree.
this whole table over. Like,
Yeah, I agree, unless they're the best mashed potatoes in the world. But
then just serve it in the mashed potato dish.
yeah, right,
Do not-
exactly.
And then also, as somebody who does make mashed potatoes, peeling them, boiling, all that, I'm not putting in the effort to make it look like that.
Yeah, mashed
like,
potatoes
I'm
are
already
hard
tired.
enough.
Right, I'm already tired from peeling
No
them.
need for the cake.
Put them in the bowl and call it a day.
Exactly. All right, well, when we come back on Beyond the Headlines, we've got our very own Brianna Rittman talking about a play coming up at the Normal Theater. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Beyond the Headlines. Our next local story of the day puts our very own Brianna Rittman in the hot seat this time. A local theater company is putting on a production that aims to start conversations about immigration. So Brianna, what is the title of the play and what's it about?
Okay, so the title of the play is So You Think You Can Stay. And now it's about 5 contestants on a game show competing to win an immigration status to the United States.
Wow, okay, that's
So
cool.
on Wednesday, I had a chance to go by the rehearsal and meet the playwright, Ariel Chupola. By day, he's a TV producer. Oh, see some footage from rehearsal? Look at that. That's
Yeah.
America talking to the contestants. And I mean, it's going to be a conversation starter.
Wow,
And Ariel himself is an immigrant. Like I said, by day, he's a TV producer and reporter. And so thinking about, and he's from Miami, so he flew in from Miami to be here to watch it come together. And so in Miami, they have a lot of like border conversations that he had to produce. And so it just got him to thinking about his own immigration process and what he had to cover as a reporter and producer. So that he started writing this in 2021.
Wow.
So that's how this play come about, because the playwright Ariel Chupola himself is an immigrant and then also had to write as a TV. He does what we do by day. And then at night, he's a playwright.
That's so cool. Wow. So how does this play align with the Coalescence Theater Project?
Okay, so Coalescence Theater Project is the one presenting this. They picked up his play, essentially. And they're an educational outreach program to expand interest in theater and encourage and develop new talent. Now, how does this all come together? Where their mission is to utilize theater to understand, acknowledge, and dismantle all forms of systemic oppression as we explore identity and their place in a global community. So they really focus on projects that deal with like minorities and marginalized communities. And so again, this is about immigration. And then also with Ariel, he talked about the proximity we have to Chicago, dealing with like the ICE being present in Chicago. So it's just a very timely production to put on.
Yeah, absolutely. So when can people go out and see this show, see the play?
This weekend, actually tomorrow and Sunday at 3 p.m. and 7:30 p.m. Tickets, I think, are like $10 and $5 for students that I saw. So it's not a bad. It's at the Normal Theater, which is in Uptown Normal. So it's worth the watch. Like I said, I sat in rehearsal for a little bit. It's worth the time. If you don't have anything else to do this weekend, go to the Normal Theater, and go play. Who doesn't love a good theater?
Yeah, right?
A good production.
A good show, live performances. There's nothing like it.
Nothing like it.
Nothing like it. All right, well, now let's take a look at this. One company is tapping into millennial nostalgia with the return of a beloved childhood toy. Sam's Club announced the return of the Easy Bake Oven. Sam's Club says the toy oven has been revamped to include heating elements similar to a conventional oven, which is different than the original that debuted in 1960-something. And
it was 1960?
What is that, 1960? Yeah, it debuted in
63. That's what they're telling us in the ear.
Okay, that's what we're getting in the ear. Yeah, and it only required 2 light bulbs. The toy oven is being sold on the company's website for nearly $35.
That's still not bad.
I remember when the Easy Bake Oven came out. My sister had one.
I still had one up until like 2019, somewhere around there. And then my nephew broke my little stick thingy.
That's what you were using as your go-to oven?
I just still had it in storage. And I was like, okay. Then my nephew came along, and toddlers, they get all handsy and stuff. But mine, if I remember, only required one light bulb. So when we lived in Washington State, so like the early 2000s is when I used it, and I do remember that. So I'm interested to see what it looks like and how it operates, since it's more into like a conventional oven.
Yeah.
So I think that's pretty. And the fact that it's still only like $35, which is pretty affordable.
This
for
is
such
one
a
of those
popular toy.
timeless toys.
Right.
Like the Rubik's Cube.
Which you love
I
so
love
much.
the Rubik's Cube. I have one on my desk. But like the Easy Bake Oven, it's so quintessential.
Yeah.
Like it's the
Remember
Easy
the
Bake
commercial?
Oven. Yeah,
Easy
yeah.
Bake. I made like brownies or like the
And the
chocolate
little
cake.
pizza,
Yes.
little pizza, you put the sauce on, you shred it.
Oh goodness! Now I don't watch the children's shows anymore, so I don't see those commercials for them
Yeah.
anymore. But yes, you just brought so many memories.
Yeah.
I'm seeing the commercials in my head right now.
That's gonna be one of those toys that in 100 years people are still
Still
playing
having
with
it.
them. Still
I need to
using
find
them.
what I did with mine because I might need to auction it off one day.
An original Easy Bake Oven, $3,500.
Right, instead of the $35.
Yeah.
I still can't believe it's only $35.
I hate my oven at home, so maybe I'll get one.
Right, because it's more like a conventional
Yeah.
oven now, so you know it's probably gonna heat up quicker, a little bit more thorough. Because the light
Yeah.
bulb was not doing its job, honestly. It's a great timeless toy to have, to experience. Say I was an Easy Bake Oven girl, but the light bulb, I remember, it just still wasn't getting the stuff cooked all the way.
It's also like, think about how many kids are introduced to like cooking that way.
Right.
You know, using an oven. I never knew how to use an oven until I was, 13.
Oh,
Or
wow.
maybe like 10. Maybe
I
like
was
10.
like, Hope.
I probably couldn't. I probably wasn't allowed to use the
operate.
oven until I was like 10. You know?
They say you just learned how to use the oven last week.
Yeah, right. I one time almost set my girlfriend's parents' house on fire because it wasn't my fault. They had something on the top of the oven and the burner was broken and I didn't know. So I heated up the oven and the burners,
Oh,
it had a
wow.
wood like cutting board on it.
Wow.
And I went downstairs and I came back up and it was filled with smoke. And I was like, oh no.
They're gonna kick you out. They're
Yeah.
gonna make y'all break up.
Yeah, right. But it was
I'm glad
fine.
everything's
Everything
okay.
worked out.
I'm glad
Everything
Alyssa's
worked
family still loves you.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, when we come back, we've got one more local story for you. When we return, Beyond the Headlines, Jack will be back in the hot seat this time to give us some holiday tips to stay away from sneaky scams while you do your shopping. We'll be right back. Welcome back. On to our final story of the day. It's about time to start your holiday shopping, but there's always scams we need to be on the lookout for. Jack is in the hot seat now to explain some tips from the Better Business Bureau. So how common are holiday scams?
Yeah, I spoke with Jessica Tharp, who's the CEO of the Better Business Bureau today, and she was telling me that, they're becoming more and more prevalent in our digital era that we live in. There are so many scams out there, whether it's, online shopping scams, travel scams, gift cards. There's so many ways that people can be vulnerable to these scams now and, in 2025. So she was just kind of going over, what to do and what to look out for, red flags to look out for, green flags on, reputable, legit businesses. So yeah, as the holiday season, gets closer, it's just something to be on the lookout for.
And what are the most common scams to look out for?
Yeah, so she said that especially during the holiday seasons, the online scams are really prevalent. If you're scrolling on Instagram or Facebook and you see something that is, normally really, if you see a PlayStation 5 for $100, that price is too good to be true. So you can, if you see a price that's too good to be true, it likely is too good to be true. That's what she was saying. So, make sure that you're buying from Amazon.com, not a reseller through Amazon.
Okay.
Make sure you're crossing your T's and dotting your I's in terms of, looking for those red flags.
Okay, and then what should people do if they are unsure and think they could be getting scammed?
Yeah, go to the Better Business Bureau's website or just give them a call. She says they get calls all the time about, hey, is this reputable? Is this legit? And they have a whole database on their website that can show you, retailers that are trustworthy and where to buy from, and some that aren't, and what to do. And if you do fall victim of a scam, like let's say it happens and after the fact, you've already been scammed, still give them a call, because they can,
alert others, right?
alert others and give you proper channels to go through on how to navigate that situation now that you've already been scammed. So I think personally, I see the AI stuff online,
right,
and I get tricked. So I can't imagine someone who is older than me. Like, I think about
not as tech savvy,
exactly,
right.
Not as tech savvy. I think about my grandparents, and that would totally work on them, and they would have no idea, and probably even after the fact, probably wouldn't even know that they got scammed. So, what the Better Business Bureau is doing is just looking out for everybody. So, yeah.
All right, thank you, Jack, for those tips. And as usual, we still need to keep Jack here to discuss some entertainment news, because he's the movie expert here.
I try to be.
So, Jack, give us a little sneak peek of your segment this week. What movie did you see and how was it?
Yeah. So Sunday morning, you could see the full segment for Jack in the Box Office. This week, I went and saw Predator: Badlands.
Okay.
I was not expecting much from this film. I kind of went into it with modest expectations, and I left with a smile on my face. It was so entertaining. It was so good. I just recently watched all the Predator movies for the first time. So I'm kind of like in that universe, in that world. I'm invested now. But even so, like, even if you've never seen it, I think you can get behind the story, which is this young Predator named Deck. He's kind of the runt of his litter. He's smaller than the rest of the Predators. He's deformed a little bit. So he's got to prove himself to his father and also honor the legacy of his brother. And so this is the first time you have a Predator character as the protagonist of the film, which is really interesting. I didn't think I would relate, but I found myself like, yeah, I get where he's coming from in this situation. So I credit that. And on top of that, Elle Fanning is in the movie, and she plays a Weyland-Yutani synthetic droid, which Weyland-Yutani is a company from the Alien movies. So they're crossing over, which is confirming that the Predator and the Alien movies, they're in the same universe. So I think we're setting up for a Predator versus Alien movie. Another one. They had some before, but those don't count.
They don't count.
They don't count. We don't talk about those ones from the early 2000s. They've been not canon, official. So
okay, so when can we see the full segment of Jack in the Box Office?
you can see the full segment Sunday morning during our CI Proud Sunday morning show, and I think it's going to be a good one. And then next week we've got Wicked for Good coming out.
Okay,
so
right.
Even next week we're going to have a lot to talk about.
All right, well, thank you, Jack. And thank you for joining us for today's Beyond the Headlines. You can find all these stories and more over on our website, ciproud.com.
For breaking news and weather updates 24/7, log on to ciproud.com and download the free CI Proud to Go mobile app.